All right, let's solve this equation. So if we're solving, that means we're trying to find out what x is, and perhaps we would use the distributive property here first. And at this point, hopefully you realize that the left side equals the right side. I mean, they're the same thing. So 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6. So we have 2x plus 6 equals 2x plus 6. Even at this point, we should realize this as an identity. But let's suppose you didn't notice that. If you tried to subtract 2x from both sides, at this point, you would realize these would cancel and you'd have 6 equals 6. So hopefully at this point, you realize that it's an identity. But let's say you still didn't realize that. Maybe you would subtract 6 from both sides trying to do that. These are going to cancel. These are going to cancel. You have 0 equals 0. Well, at this point, you really have no choice but to know that this is an identity, and it means that all real numbers are solutions. That's what this symbol means. So an R that has a double back on it means that all real numbers are solutions. And so what it means is any x value substituted into this original, any x value that you substitute in there would make this true. And so you could use 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. You put the 1 here. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 equals 8. So it doesn't matter what you put in for x here. This is going to be true. So that's pretty cool. So it's important. That does happen every now and then. So when you're solving an equation, this is one of the things that could happen. So you could solve an equation in which all real numbers are solutions. But the thing that happens most often is that when you solve an equation, you get one real number solution. So normally when you're solving an equation, like, let's say the equation looked like this, you would get only one answer here. So 2x plus 3 equals 8. If you subtract 3 from both sides, those cancel. 2x equals 5. And then you divide both sides by 2. You get 5 halves because those 2's cancel there. So x equals 5 halves is an example. This equation right here is an example of an equation that just has one solution. So as I was trying to say, you could solve an equation and it would have one solution like this, or it could be all real numbers, so an infinite number of solutions would work, and that's true whenever the equation ends up being an identity. And then the other thing that could happen is you end up with some kind of false equation. Like you go through the process of solving and you end up with something like 2 equals 8. Well, 2 does not equal 8, and so this is a false statement, and it means there are no real number solutions. And this is the way you would write that. So there are no solutions. That's what this means. So when you solve an equation, you have 3 possibilities. You could have one solution, and that's what happens about 99% of the time. You have one solution. But you could have a situation like this, where it's a false statement and you have no solutions. Or thirdly, you could solve and you could get an identity like this one up here, where one side equals the other side, and it means that all real numbers are solutions. Anyway, I hope this helps. See you later.